Good morning, Sudden Valley, and thank you for tuning in again for another special edition of my show. I am Summer Cronk, your unaffiliated, unofficial Sudden Valley Community Association neighbor and friendly real estate broker. If you tuned in yesterday, I did an interview with board candidate Lori Robinson, and as I mentioned, I made the decision recently to reach out to those candidates who have never been on the board before and give them an opportunity to present themselves to the community in an effort to help you decide who you do and do not wish to vote for. So, yesterday was Lori, and you can find that on my business Facebook page, which is called Summer Cronk Real Estate Managing Broker, or you can also find it on my YouTube channel. Today, I have the pleasure of interviewing Stu Mitchell. So, as with Lori's interview, we'll keep it short and sweet and hopefully just give you a few moments to get to know Stu a little bit better. So, without further ado, here he is. All right. Hi, Stu. It's nice to finally meet you in person, and I want to thank you for taking a few minutes out of your day today to do this little interview with me. I do want to start off by giving you an opportunity to introduce yourself to anybody who may be watching. I will ask you in a minute about your experience, so maybe just tell us a little bit about you personally, including how long you've lived in the Valley.
Certainly, Summer, thanks for inviting me here. I appreciate the opportunity to, let the Sun Valley neighbors get to know me a little bit. My wife and I moved to the Valley a little over 2 years ago. It's just by luck that we happened to find Sun Valley because we were actually out on a mission looking for a place for us to retire to in the future. So we looked at all sorts of different places: Colorado, California, uh, Utah, just around the world. And I was born and raised in Washington and kind of liked the fact that we have water here. So we were out driving around, and we'd never been around Lake Whatcom. So we started driving around the lake, and we ran into Sun Valley and fell in love with the place. And that's why we decided to move up here and retire. Personally, my wife is retired. She's a retired veterinarian. I am still working. I own a business. A little bit about me. I actually grew up in Redmond, Washington before Microsoft invaded it, um, which is kind of different from what it is now. It used to be a one-stop sign town. Now it's just a megaplex. Actually grew up very poor. My summers were spent as a child out on I call it my grandparents' farm, but it wasn't really their farm. They were farm hands out in Carnation. And I started working when I was 15 years old. That was my first job, full-time job. I moved out of my mother's house when I was 16. For various reasons, which we can get into at some other point in time. And, I've been pretty much working my entire life, working hard. I worked my way through college, degrees at the community college, 2 degrees there, 3 degrees at the University of Washington. And, I'm fortunate to where I am today, but it's actually all through hard work. And, I'm one of the few people that have gone from being from poverty to being doing pretty well.
I love it. What a good story. Thank you for sharing that. Um, well, let's get to the board part of things. I want to know, why do you wish to be on the board? And is there any specific role that you would like to fill? For example, treasurer, communications committee, something like that.
Well, the main reason that I would like to be on the board is because right now, the Sun Valley Association is in total disarray. It's not being run properly. It's not being run how an association or business or any type of entity should be run. And there's a lot of discontent in the community. And I've spent my life running businesses and keeping things in order and fixing problems. And that's what I do.
Well, that's a great segue into the next question, which is, what skills or experience do you have that you feel pertain to the position?
Well, I've actually been managing businesses, organizations, committees for 40 years. I currently run my own business. It's a business I founded based on technology that my students developed at the University of Washington when I was a research professor there. Um, we're making a new type of surgical device, really cool technology if you ever want to look me up. Um, so I've been doing that, managing for 40 years. I have probably 20 to 25 years of what I call managing other people's money. And that's what the Sun Valley Association is. The board should be managing other people's money. The money in that association belongs to the community. It does not belong to the board. It doesn't belong to the management. It belongs to the community. I've been doing that for government grants. Um, and currently, right now, my investors for my business, I'm 100% investment based. I have 181 investors. Um, about $9 million is what we've brought into the company. And my objective is to get my investors a return on their return on their investment. And really, that's really kind of what Sun Valley needs to be also is, people's money needs to be managed properly. There's a thing called fiduciary responsibility, 25 years of experience managing other people's money. And that's what I bring to the table.
Nice, thank you. And I just have one other question, and it is, if you are elected to the board, what would you like to accomplish?
Well, the first thing is to fix everything that's broken, and that's kind of a big accomplishment in itself. Um, the current administration, and it's probably been going on this way for quite some time, so it's not the current board's fault, is the association is not managed the way it should be. The board should not be running the association. That is the job of the managers. The board should be providing oversight and governance. Um, Depending on the organization you're in, that means different things. It's governed by the bylaws, but by far, they should not be involved in the day-to-day operation and directing employees. That is the job of the management. So the whole association is kind of not being run properly the way it should be run. And I intend to fix that. And involved in fixing that is actually getting the community more involved and bringing the community together. We have a very diverse community. Diversity is a great thing. Brings a lot of knowledge to the table, brings a lot of different perspectives. And the key thing with managing these types of things, even on the board, is actually listening to other people, hearing what people say, hearing what their opinions are, and working with people. You need to work together as a group. And the position that I would be interested in having is the position I've had since I was 18 years old, and I'm the leader. I manage, I run, I fix. That's what I do.
There you go. It's good to have that insight into yourself and where your strengths are. I can appreciate that. That was it. I just want to say thank you for meeting with me today. Hopefully, we've provided a little more insight to those community members who have been watching, and that they've gotten to know you a little bit better as a board candidate. And best wishes in the election.
All right, great. Thanks a lot, Summer.
So there you have Stu Mitchell running for Sudden Valley Community Association Board of Directors. I hope that interview was helpful to you. I want to remind you that the AGM is on Saturday, November 5th. If you wish to vote in person, you need to arrive to the dance barn between 9 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. to register and receive your in-person ballot. If you're mailing that ballot, it has to be received no later than November 3rd, and if you're dropping it off at the administration building ballot box, it needs to be there no later than 4:30 p.m. on November 4th. So make sure you get out there and vote, and I'll have one more interview for you that I've lined up so far, and that will be with Asia, and hopefully I'll be running that one on Facebook and YouTube tomorrow. I hope you'll tune in, and I hope I can line up a few more interviews with these candidates who have not yet served on the board of directors. Thanks for watching.